Hi there. I was talking to somebody the other day about, do you remember those days of dial-up internet, way back in the in the day? And you remember what it was like when, if you can remember those times, when we used to connect to the internet? Oh my God, how exciting was that? And you know what it would be like. You know, you'd get the computer, you'd go to the big old fat desktop with a big screen. You'd connect the modem. Do you remember modems? And you'd connect to the through the telephone line, and then you'd go online, and you'd go to go online, and then you'd press connect. And you remember what happened then? You get those sounds, that kind of all those sort of clunky sounds, as if you were dialing a fax. If you remember those days as well. And eventually you'd get that whistling, and then and you're connected. Oh God, how special was that moment when you were connected to anybody in the world. And then you go to a new page on a website, and it would take ages to download and so that you could read it. And do you remember what that experience was like? It was, you know, compared with what we have nowadays, laughable, you know, just ridiculously slow. But what were you focused on if you had that experience, if you were around in those days? What was it like? What was the main thing that you were thinking about as you were surfing? And I think loads of people were focused or realizing, oh, this is slow, please, you know, can we hurry up? But also realizing and remembering that this is actually costing a lot of money as we stay online. Please hurry up, because every minute I'm here, it's costing me money. And then as soon as you kind of got to the stage where you think, okay, I've had enough now, or I've found the information, click, you were off, right? And you knew that if you were going to reconnect, it would take you all that you know, whiz bang stuff, that long period of time to reconnect. So it was really in our minds about how much was it costing. In other words, although the experience was exciting and not compared with today, but you know, it was groundbreaking, it was still expensive. Our minds were thinking, oh, how much is this costing? And then what made that change? Of course, broadband came along. Now, when it first came in, yes, it was much slower than we have today. But what was the big shift? What was the big way that they would market broadband versus dial-up? Why was this broadband so much better? And speed was part of it, sure. But do you remember what they also used to say? Broadband is always on technology. It's always on. And that was a big game changer for loads of people, because now they had this really weird experience of saying, well, I'm going to leave the computer on. I'm going to stay connected to the internet. And it was a new experience. It was just not what people were used to. So, so obviously loads of people could stay on connected to the internet, and then speeds improved. And now what happens? Well, we pay not by the time that we're online, of course. We pay for a bundle, we pay for an amount of data or a connection per month. So it's all bundled together. And this got me thinking, there's another similar situation where the same type of pattern happened, right? And that was with mobile phones. So mobile phone companies, because in those days, when it was dial-up internet, they were different companies, right? Mobile phone companies, how did they charge for the services that they were providing to customers there? Same deal as dial-up, right? They would charge by the second or by the minute. And of course, in those days, the prices were really high, right? So again, when people were making mobile calls, what were they thinking? It was like, I'm going to have this call, but I can't speak too long because it was always focused on click, 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 click. How much is this costing? Because the time is money. And we got used to that. But now what happens? There's been a sea shift, right, of how we pay for our calls. Obviously, the price has come down, and so it should have done in that time. But more than that, it was that we pay our monthly fees, and now we don't care. It's like always on. Now, as long as you don't go over whatever bound limit that you've decided to pay for, you're good. You're not thinking about it all the time. So there's two examples of dial-up and the old mobile charging, where they were charging by the time, charging by the minute, by the second, by however long you were connected. And our focus was on how much this is costing. Take that away, and now we don't think, how long are we online? Yeah, we don't think about how long have we been on this phone call now, because it's all covered, it's all costed. So Now, how does that apply? Because I think there's a real lesson there in so many businesses where people are charging their services by the hour, or they're charging their services by the day, or by how long it takes for this project to be delivered, for example. Now, yes, you have to earn enough money in the time that you have available, and there's all sorts of ways of doing that. But isn't it interesting that if you're looking at charging by the time, the focus of your clients, the focus of customers is going to be on how long is this taking? How much is this going to be costing? Just like you did in dial-up, just like you would have done in those early mobile days. How long is this costing? Don't stay on the phone too long because it's going to cost too long. And is your offer to your clients and customers still charging like that? Are you still in the dial-up age of charging for your customers? Or are you more like a bundled package where you're saying, actually, this is how much it is, and then you don't need to worry about how long it's going to take or the total, or adding more cost onto that. We can just bundle it all together, and now we're clear on what the experience is like. Because nowadays, when you pay for broadband and the internet, you're not thinking how much is it costing. You're totally focused on, is it fast enough? Is it reliable enough? What's the experience like, and not on the money side so much. So if you're finding it difficult, for example, to get enough people to new customers and new clients because you're charging by the hour or by time in some shape or form, isn't it interesting to think that you may be trying to position yourself and sell as if you were still in the dial-up age? You're allowing your clients and customers to focus on the time and instead focus on the experience. So maybe think about how to bundle or package your services rather than just charging by the time. Time is easy. Bundling takes a bit of brain power and decision making, but that is where the bigger rewards are. So, and this, I'm putting this out in August, and this month of August is the month where for all our clients, we're really focusing and looking at the offers that they put out. Because honestly, the way to get financial security is to make sure you've got a really good offer. And if your offer is what the market wants, and what they want is not how much it's going to cost, what they want is the outcome. So if your offer is focused on the outcome, and then it's just simply good value for that outcome, you're going to find it much easier to get financial security. So don't be a dial-up business. Don't price yourself in the dial-up way. Be broadband. Be the experience that your customers and clients want. And that's the way that you get financial security. Hope that helps. We'll speak again.